Hello and welcome to week 3. So this week we're going to be moving on to our next unit, which is going to focus on children's health. So we're going to be spending a couple of weeks in this unit, and each week we'll have something different but still related to children's health. So what I wanted to do for this week was show you what is in Canvas for you, but because I am introducing your first assignment to you this week, I want to make sure that you understand what it is that you're supposed to do. So before you got to this week, we started looking at how health, safety, and nutrition relates to each other. I thoroughly enjoyed reading all of the resources that you found concerning the different topics that you were interested in, and I certainly hope that you were bookmarking all of the sites that your classmates were finding. It is amazing to start out your career in working with children with a resource library already there, so that if you encounter a child who has this particular ailment, or you want to know, how am I supposed to keep my classroom more safe? Your classmates and you have already done some research, and so that really is why I had you do that assignment last week. But this week, as we start moving into children's health, which obviously is one of the main factors that we're looking at in this course. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be finding out about how are children supposed to be healthy? What are we supposed to do that are going to help children be healthy? And one of the things that we can do is something called a daily health observation. And so you're going to learn more about that during this week. So what you need to do for this week is you're going to be reading chapter 2, which again deals with daily health observations. Here's the PowerPoint that goes along with it. And then this is also a great video for you to be able to go through. It really is kind of a teaching tool, and so I really think that this is something that you're going to enjoy. Obviously, you need to make sure that Flash is enabled on your computer in order for you to be able to view it. So once you have read chapter 2 and you have gone through this lesson on the daily health observation, the two things that you're doing this week: one, there is a discussion board on daily health observation, and then your assignment, your first real assignment, is going to be creating a growth brochure or flyer. For your discussion board, it's something called a 3-2-1. I don't know if you have heard of it before, but it's just a different way to look at the information. So once you've gone through and you've looked at that training that I provided for you, what I want you to do is you're going to list 3 things that you learned, 2 things that surprised you, and 1 way that you feel daily health observations are helpful. Don't forget to respond to your classmates, and remember that great post or I agree with you doesn't get you the points for your responses. So just make sure that you're getting a little bit more in depth. So that's what you'll be doing for your discussion board. But the assignment that you're working on is a brochure or flyer that you are going to be creating, that's going to be a resource for not only you and your colleagues, but also for parents. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're creating a document, some kind of publication, no more than 2 pages. And the reason we say that, with 2 pages you can always print front to back, but if you start putting together this large packet of information, nobody's going to read it. But if you learn how to put this information into a readable format that is creative, it catches their eye, it's going to be something that can be used. So what you're going to be doing is you are going to be highlighting at least 10 milestones of growth. And I don't mean milestones like the standards that we use. I mean, like, what are the different abilities that children have at at each of these age groups. And so if you look in your textbook, you're going to find a lot of this information. But I don't want you just to simply copy and paste. This is meant to be something that you can actually use. So there needs to be at least 10 pieces of information about infants. What's happening at the different months? What can parents expect to see during this particular age group? Same thing for toddlers, and then same thing for the preschool and the early school age. So your brochure or flyer should have at least 3 sections because we're looking at each one of these age groups. Make sure that you cite where you got your information from. So whether or not you just do one little blurb that has the different sources that you used, or if you want to put the citation with wherever you found, wherever you're putting the information in your brochure or flyer. But because you're not coming up with these on your own, you truly are having to do some research to be able to say this is developmentally what's happening during these different age ranges. You do need to cite your information. Make sure that you look through the rubric, which I'm going to go through in just a minute. And if you're not sure how to go about this, my colleague Jeannie Hopkins over in Portsmouth created a little tutorial. You can do this on Microsoft Word. You can do it through Adobe Acrobat. You can do it as a publisher document, but the only thing, just make sure that it does not exceed the 2 pages, because I'm telling you from experience as both a teacher and a parent that the more stuff that you give me to read, the less likely I am to read it. So we want to make it very clear, very concise, but very eye-catching so that it's something that they want to actually read. So just make sure you go through the rubric. You'll see that most of it's going to be, do you have the information? I need to know that you're giving us, you're giving me, you're giving parents, you're giving colleagues at least 10 milestones of development that's happening in each one of those age ranges. Creativity. I'm not asking for it to be so overly flowery that we can't find the information, but you do want to make it appealing. So make sure that you are making this as creative as you can while still making it very readable. And obviously you want to make sure there are no misspellings. If you're taking information from another source, there's no reason that there should be a misspelling, but definitely double check, triple check, do as many checks as you need to make sure that there are no grammatical errors, spelling errors, punctuation errors. And I'll tell you that the reason that that is important, one, you're a teacher, so you are expected to set forth a good example. And even if you're not a teacher, if you're going to be working as a nurse, it's all about making sure that we are showing that we know what we're talking about. So that is going to be really important as well. And I will tell you that as a parent, I found that more often than not, it took a lot away if I read something from my children's teachers that said that they were and I saw a bunch of misspellings. So if that happens, a lot of times they automatically assume you don't know what you're talking about, and so we want to avoid that. So anyways, I apologize if there were some glitches in the video for some reason. It kept going in and out, but hopefully you got the gist of what it is that you're supposed to do for the assignment as well as for the discussion board this week. So enjoy getting to learn more about children's health and getting started on your growth brochure or flyer. Have a great week, and I will see you in week 4.